It's Beer O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Thornbridge Brewery, and it's a collaboration with Firestone Brewing Company in America, and it's a can of Pondera. It's a West Coast style IPA coming in at 6.7% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. Without further ado, let's get the can out into a glass and see what we get. As of April 2020, this beer was launched into Morrison's in the UK. Morrison's have just expanded their range of craft beers. They're kind of like 440 milliliter, £2.50 to £3 a can beers. 6.7% ABV on a supermarket shelf. I mean, just 5 years ago, like, this style of beer was unheard of, absolutely unheard of 5 years ago. To be able to just grab a 440 can of craft beer is absolutely fantastic. So, clarity. The clarity's pretty good on this beer. I think Thornbridge beers are generally quite bright. We got a 2-finger white head, good levels of carbonation, an amber coloured, clear as a bell. Look at that. It's very nice to look at. Amber coloured, yeah, beer, good carbonation. Let's get the aroma then. Pick up the light malts coming through. Touch of grapefruit. Touch of orange peel. I'm gonna say the aromas are not flying out of the glass at me. Usually when you open a beer, a £3 can of beer from a supermarket, a hoppy beer, this is a West Coast IPA, the hops are generally kind of smashing you in the face, but on this occasion, it's a bit timid. It's a bit, unless it's all hidden in the glass. Let's have a look. Cheers, everyone. Definitely some orange peel, grapefruit, and then a built-in bitterness on the back end. And the bitterness keeps on building and building and building. It's very refreshing. It's a very refreshing beer. But on the first mouthful, it's a little bit subdued. It's a little bit... I'm waiting for real great big excitement to happen, and it's not quite there. Very refreshing. Get a grapefruit, bit of orange peel. I'm just checking the rest of the beer into the glass just to see if we got any sediment. Sometimes the flavour falls into the bottom of the can through gravity alone, and you've got to kind of mix it up and dump it in just to try and revive the beer a little bit. But I'm just asking myself a question, and the question I'm asking myself in my brain over and over and over again is, am I mistaking this for a New England IPA? Am I mistaking it for that style of beer that everybody seems to be brewing at the moment, where the flavours just kind of like fly at you. They're bursting out of the glass, and there's so much kind of hoppy aroma and beautiful flavours of mango and tropical fruit and orange peel and fleshy blood orange, and it's kind of them sort of style of beers make you salivate. And this is a West Coast IPA, so it should have all of that in the middle with a whacking great bitterness on the back end. I think Thornbridge need to turn the hopping levels up a little bit on this beer. Not a little bit, I'm going to say quite a lot. I'm going to be quite firm here and say I think it's been polished up too much. I think they put the best parts of this beer down the drain. Don't get me wrong, there's light biscuity malty flavours, it's very drinkable, it's very refreshing. There's some orange peel, there's some fleshy blood orange, but you're searching with your mind. It's not like coming to you, your brain is going to the beer. Does that make sense? It's like I'm chasing the flavours in my mind. I'm going, right, what's in this? I'm chasing it. Whereas some of the, I mean, I had a Kirkstall Brewery, what did I have? A Providence New England Pale Ale. Tremendous, absolutely tremendous beer. The flavours were unbelievable. And I didn't have to search. I didn't have to kind of like really concentrate on the flavours because they were coming to me. They were like flowing over my palate. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I have reviewed the Kirkstall Providence Pale Ale. The only reason I'm mentioning this is because it's a new range of beer in Morrison's at the moment for £3 a can, and the Kirkstall beer is part of it. So is the Thornbridge Pondera. So of course, naturally, you're going to buy a selection of these beers. I won't be the only one who just goes and buys a selection of these beers and drinks them all together. Trust me, we're in lockdown. There's going to be people, as of April 2020, there's going to be people out there buying the whole range of this and sampling them. And you're probably nodding your head, unless yours is hazy. Let me know in the comments box if you've got a hazy Pondera West Coast IPA. Has yours got more flavour? I mean, is yours bursting with flavour on the aroma and the taste? Or, like me, is it a little bit of a letdown? I just want a little bit more. I want a little bit more aroma. I want a little bit more hoppy flavour in the middle. You're getting the sweetness, you're getting the bitterness on the back end, but there's more. There needs to be much more middle in the beer. Perhaps it's one for Thornbridge to go back to and maybe adjust. Perhaps they can adjust the beer, change it up a bit. Have a look, try it. You might like it. Oh, here we go. So, Pondera is the result of an exciting collaboration with a highly respected Firestone Walker. Here we go. Expect a fantastically drinkable West Coast IPA with a refreshing bitterness and flavours of kiwi, passion fruit and guava. It's not, it's none of that. It really isn't none of that. It's like you're searching for flavours in the beer. And it's surprising. It's surprising because I remember when Thornbridge, they tentatively launched into Waitrose. They dipped their toes with the supermarket. They kind of like got to know the business by going into Waitrose, dealing with supermarkets. And the beers back then, they were all in kind of, what were they in? They were in big pint bottles. Jaipur and I had a New Zealand Pale Ale that used to be terrific, one of their best beers. Wonderful top end craft beer in Waitrose. And then they did what a few of the other breweries have done. They started to go into Asda and they started to go into Morrison's. And no disrespect to these supermarkets, but they must have had to kind of ramp up their production and really grow as a company. Grow in volume. And I think when a company gets so big, it starts to suffer. It starts to lose the early roots that they once had when they were small craft brewers. And I miss that. I had massive high hopes for this beer. I really did. And it's a bit of a letdown. It really is a bit of a letdown. I'm gonna rate it. That's a 5 out of 10 for me. 5 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.